and then it's a bit more.
So stuff like Star Trek or James Dean, I keep seeing. Is there anything specific, or it's just like certain things about pop culture?
Yeah, like certain, like Frida Kahlo, she's of interest to me. Like that's a beer coaster. And I collect various things, sometimes to bring back nostalgia from my youth. I love like holograms and stuff. And there's like a section over here that's got, even more of them. So I have, I collect anything that glitters. I'm like a magpie. I like these flicker things that the images move. There's like a hologram of a human head, and there's the moon landing, and so I collect various kinds of things, and I just like this is actually a photograph from like when I was about 7 or 8 years old. That's me there. That's my sister, and that's my mother. And that's at a community, I think the Hillhurst Sunnyside Community Center, but I'm not sure.
Well, nothing gets more Canadian than
Yeah, and Wendy got that at the
that character.
Yeah.
Love him or hate him.
Yeah, I hate him now. I used to think he was kind of funny, but now he just gets on my nerves.
Wow.
And the rest is storage.
Mm. It's like you can't even like label a box without turning it into another piece.
Yes, I know, which sometimes slows you down. Some people would say, why don't you just label it and move on? But I'll say, then I'll sit down and spend, 15 minutes making a label. So that's actually for you when you
nice.
One of those.
Nice.
The drawing I did way back in '87 when I participated in the documenta. So upstairs are 2 studios, and this carries on here as well. That's our house in.
So you had to work in Documenta. That's great. I didn't know that.
Well, we participated. It was part of a performance. I can explain it to you later. It's quite complicated, but 8 of us. It was called City Souvenir. So 8 of us came from various parts of the world representing our city. Like I represented Calgary, Grant Poyer. I think you know Grant. Yeah. He represented Banff, and one guy represented Quebec City, and then Kassel in Germany, a place in Holland, London, England. And we did performances, and we produced a really neat catalog. It's somewhere around here. And I'll just turn off the beloved CBC. So this side is Wendy's side. You can see the difference.
Yes.
And initially she didn't want to have a studio, but I talked her into it because I thought, well, we're spending all this money. I think it's kind of unfair if I have the whole studio, although of course I wish I had it all now. But so those are early works from good 15 years ago, maybe more, maybe 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That one's based on Day of the Dead in Mexico.
Yep.
And then this is the series that she's been working on for 3 or 4 years now. It's called An Accustomed Narrative. So the figure is always her. And then it's just things that happen in the day, like things, sometimes insignificant little things, like she does window displays at the thrift shop, so that's another window display. And then sometimes like a local guy collapsed in front of one of the buildings on Broadway and was bleeding, and so on and so on. And so she produced about 150 of these, maybe even 200 of them. And when she installs them, she paints them out, does a better job. This is done fairly quickly, but so she paints the wall, and so they're framed by the wall because she doesn't like them behind glass.
That makes sense.
You can't really, see the
material
handwork. Yeah, because it's a lot of it's about material.
So I have to admit that the faces are kind of scary.
Yeah, sometimes they're quite scary. She doesn't really see it that way.
No.
This one I always think is funny because she looks like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And she's like not obviously aiming at any kind of representational, but no, sometimes they're quite funny.
Yeah,
Sometimes they're a little bit like scary. Yeah. And this is hard to see, but this is this was when it was shown in Germany so that's all her work behind these people.
Okay.
And this is at the opening, and that's our friend Jürgen.
That's a really
Albert.
nice way to document it.
Yeah, and this little dog showed up at the opening.
Nice.